What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to yet another episode of The Drop. And I will admit that since the beginning of the year, this show has been kind of slow simply because not a lot of games have been coming out. But that all changes this week because this is what I consider to be the first significant week for video game releases of 2017. Go ahead and kick off the week with what I consider to be our big headliner for this particular week, and that is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which is coming out on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. When Ethan Winters opened his inbox, the last thing he expected to find was an email from his wife. She had been missing for 3 years. The message was simple: come get me, and an address in Louisiana. This leads Ethan to a decrepit mansion in the heart of the bayou. The place has a seriously creepy vibe, but Ethan continues his search until a stranger attacks him and knocks him unconscious. Getting kind of spoilery here, if I do say so myself. Ethan has no idea what awaits him when he wakes up, for he is now in the clutches of the Baker family. Now, the first thing you will notice is that this looks nothing like any kind of Resident Evil game we have seen in the past, and that's because it's running on a brand new engine built from the ground up for Resident Evil 7 itself. And that's probably why a lot of us were thrown off, because like I said, this looks nothing like a Resident Evil game. It actually looks a lot like the playable trailer for Konami/Kojima's cancel game Silent Hill. One thing that is definitely worth mentioning here is that the entire game is playable in PlayStation VR. Now, if you are not on PlayStation 4 and you happen to be on the Xbox One side of the console generation, then you are also in luck, especially if you have a PC, because the game is cross-buy. If you buy it on the Xbox One, you can also play it on the PC, so no matter where you play, you are getting just a little bit of an incentive, though I will say completely playing the game in PlayStation VR does sound pretty cool in theory. I have heard rumors that it does make people motion sick, that it is one of the worst games to play in VR, but that is all just rumor and speculation from a couple of weeks back that very well could have been fixed by the time the game actually does come out. In my opinion, this is going to be a really interesting time for Resident Evil as a franchise and as a universe, because over the past couple of years, we've gotten some pretty shitty Resident Evil games. You had Resident Evil 6, which was not well received. Before that, you had Operation Raccoon City that your boy here bought on day one. Don't pre-order, kids. Really, don't pre-order. And then last year we had Umbrella Corps, and all of these were placed in the Resident Evil universe, and in my opinion, that's kind of spreading things too thin. You're trying too many different things with this one universe, and so in my opinion, Resident Evil 7 is kind of like a realignment of where they want the franchise to go in the future, and it very well could shape where the franchise is going over the next 10-20 years. With all of that being said, if you are interested in checking out the new Resident Evil game, it is coming out this week on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC, and it's definitely a new kind of Resident Evil, if I do say so myself. Next up, we've got Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue is a compilation that brings the popular Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance to the PlayStation 4 computer entertainment system platform, remastered in high definition. Originally released in 2012, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD is a full HD remastered version of Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. Series protagonists Sora and Riku take on the Mark of Mastery exam in preparation for coming threats. The signature action of the Kingdom Hearts series has evolved, allowing players to experience faster-paced battles and exploration at a blistering pace. That is a terrible name. Absolutely terrible. So pretty much what's going on here is that this game, Dream Drop Distance, was originally released on the Nintendo 3DS, and in preparation of Kingdom Hearts 3 that everyone's getting pretty hyped up for, they've been bringing a lot of the older Kingdom Hearts games and all of the little small ones that came out on the PSP and all that good stuff to the newest generation of consoles, specifically mainstream platforms for people to kind of experience before Kingdom Hearts 3 hits store shelves at some point. So pretty much in this package you get Dream Drop Distance, and then on top of that you get Kingdom Hearts X back cover, which is pretty much just a showing of the series' roots in a movie form. And then on top of that you get Kingdom Hearts Point 2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage that actually does kind of link everything back into Kingdom Hearts 3. So this game is directly preparing you for what 3 is going to entail. Now listen, I'm not a big fan of Kingdom Hearts overall. I played it back in the day just a little bit whenever I didn't feel like playing something else. I just never got into RPGs that much. I've really tried. But now this game is going to be fantastic for those that are looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3, or those that played the original game on the Nintendo 3DS and want a better version of that upgraded with better graphics on the PlayStation 4. I'm not saying it shouldn't come out, I'm just saying it's not for me. And last but not least, wrapping things up, oh my god, this is long, Yakuza Zero is coming to the PlayStation 4. The glitz, glamour, and unbridled decadence of the 80s are back in Yakuza Zero, a prequel to the long-running series set in Japan's criminal underworld. This entry introduces mainstay protagonist Kazuma Kiryu, I think, and series regular Goro Majima, I am so sorry for these names, as they fight like hell through Tokyo and Osaka in their climb through the Yakuza ranks. Along the way, players can interact with all of the vices 1988's Japan had to offer, from discos and hostess clubs to classic Sega arcades. Hell yeah! There are tons of distractions to peruse in this richly detailed neon-lit world. At its heart, Yakuza Zero is a classic 3D brawler where players roaming the streets of Tokyo or Osaka will encounter all manners of goons, thugs, hoodlums, and lowlifes to beat up. Featuring an engaging combat system allowing players to switch between 3 different fighting styles instantaneously, Yakuza Zero gives players fluid, free-flowing fights that are easily learned and a joy to master. Take combat up a notch by using environmental objects such as bicycles, signposts, and car doors for bone-crushing combos and savage takedowns. So in my opinion, coming from a guy that's never played a Yakuza game, of what I gather, these are pretty much mafia games set in the world of Japan during different time periods, and Yakuza Zero happens to be a prologue to everything else that's happened, which makes it a really good one to jump into Yakuza on, because you can pretty much get a bare bones foundation of where the franchise began, and if you're an old-time fan of Yakuza, then you can kind of fill in the blanks and see some history behind the characters that you've grown to love over the years. So if you're a fan of clubs and gangs and Japan, then you might want to check out Yakuza Zero, because I hear it is actually one of the best in the franchise. Not saying that it is the best, I'm just saying that they do well with the atmosphere of 1988 Japan. That's just something I've heard, so you might want to give it a look-see if you're interested. Also, to wrap things up, a couple of honorable mentions. Moto Racer 4 is coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One. Did not hear good things about that one. And Tales of Berseria is coming to the PC if you are interested in that. So there you guys have it. I do hope you have enjoyed this edition of The Drop. If you did, drop me a like down below and let me know what new games you are interested in picking up, if anything. Personally, I think the most interesting game this week is Yakuza Zero in my book, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you happen to be new here, I do upload new stuff like 3 or 4 days a week depending on the week, so there's always something new right here on the channel when you drop by to watch some videos, and I'm streaming on Twitch and all of that good stuff is in the description box down below. But as for right now, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.